with all the Zenless Zone Zero hype, a lot of people are getting mad about the big nerf from Nicole. Give a major shout out to I Am Rivenous. He posted a video on the failing expectations of Zenless Zone Zero and gave I'm hoping a very fair review of the game. We're gonna watch it. I'm gonna give some feedback. I definitely want to get your guys' feedback in the comment section below. I will be leaving this video link in the description below, so if you guys want to go watch it, show them some support as well, you guys can do that. But without further ado, let's get into it. There's going to be a little bit of story spoilers.
Having played the CBT2 now for over 40 hours, I think I have a pretty solid understanding of what the game currently has to offer, even if I have possibly not discovered everything in the game. We will today talk about the gameplay, the combat, the mechanics, the good and the bad, what can be improved, and last but not least, the story. I won't go deep into the story, so consider this a warning for minor story spoilers for the prologue, but I will also blend in a short warning when we get to it.
Same thing with you guys, if you don't want to see story stuff, definitely don't watch this.
This is my personal opinion on the second beta, which does not reflect the release of the final game, and your experience may be different. The story is being told in a mix of cutscenes, manga-like elements, and visual novel-style storytelling while being fully voiced. The game starts off by having you select your MC, Battle or Wise. Obviously, it is not advised to hesitate for too long here, cause the decision honestly doesn't matter too much, but more on that later. The next cutscene introduces you to the only lore you will care about, followed by a skip button so you can go back to the
only lore you'll care about,
where they throw more curse words at you within 10 seconds than all
by the way, man, the community went crazy because of that nerf, bro. Because of Nicole's freaking booba nerf. People are going insane. It really isn't that big of a deal, man. Like, it's just, there's other characters to look forward to, and it really comes down to the gameplay and the story. If it's actually good, that's what I look forward to.
Combined.
So, yeah. I already saw some of this. This is still kind of cool. This is a little comic book kind of vibe, you know. It's very, very cool.
Then you get blasted out of the window and thrown into the tutorial. The tutorial itself is very minimalistic and honestly nothing special. Every so often a pop-up...
I actually heard that the tutorial actually doesn't teach you anything. Like, you kind of have to, even though they give you a tutorial, you still have to figure out how to actually play the game. From what I've heard from other people that have been in the beta, I am not sure if that's 100% true, but let me know in the comments below. I just heard that from my community. I'm not really sure if it's true. I'm pretty sure it is, but you guys let me know.
Window will tell you about the next important mechanic, and because there are so many of them, you will forget about it quite fast anyway and go back to randomly smashing buttons until everything is dead. And that works great during the story, but the game does actually get quite difficult later into the game, so you will actually have to learn these things. Fortunately, your MC is wise, except if you chose Bell, and wrote down all the tutorial things in this little book, which you are never told about.
Oh,
I could continue all these wise jokes, but that likely wouldn't ring a bell.
Okay, so they don't even tell you have to find this book. They don't give you the information. They don't give you like a little UI directional way to go there, I guess. So you kind of have to figure this out on your own. That kind of sucks.
For many people.
That's annoying.
Anyway, consider this now your minor story spoiler.
Okay, cool.
The bad guy who got blasted with you gets corrupted and transforms into this thing. And even though you defeated him in less than a few seconds, he heals himself a bit and Billy decides it's a good time to run away now. Then you leave the hollow and you are slowly introduced to who you actually are. Both MC are referred to as the Phaethion or Phaethon.
By the way, guys, if you were going into the beta, which MC would you have chosen to begin with? Honestly, I've learned this from past betas that I've been in, and I would definitely want to choose the male one first, and then when the game actually comes out, I would probably pick the female one second. But let me know in the comments below. Do you guys care about that or not? Let me know.
However it is pronounced, and one single line somewhere in between hints at the original Phaethon being missing. So this is definitely not some kind of foreshadowing of your dad or whoever the original Phaethon actually is being evil or something. Anyway, you are playing as a proxy, which to my understanding is basically a leader who takes commissions to lead people in and out of the hollows to fulfill certain tasks. These hollow raiders, as they are called, also have to stay undercover, as hollow raiding is considered not being a very legal activity apparently. Now, it is probably a good time to explain what hollows actually are. I'm not sure if I missed it, but I don't think they actually really explained this in the game, so I will just read you the wiki entry. Hollows are supernatural disasters appearing out of thin air, creating disordered dimensions where monsters known as the ethereal roam. So,
okay, so
at this point, I will cut the prologue story short because it honestly drags out a bit and because it is just a tutorial.
So
to
the Hollow is kind of like a
aspects of the
virus hitting the
Chapter 1 was
town
the
kind of
part
thing.
where it actually got interesting to me, but I don't want to spoil most of the story for people here.
Oh, bro, you're
To
amazing. Thank you for
summarize
that.
the overall plot, these
Because I definitely don't want to get spoiled.
Civilizations, except for one, New Eridu. They managed to acquire technology to extract resources from these hollows and industrialize and monetize them. This leads to various conflicts between the city's administration, gangs, fanatics, and so on. And as you probably guessed, or maybe not, the game doesn't hesitate to kill off important or unimportant characters alike. So while the story starts relatively slow-paced, I think it develops into an interesting direction.
Okay, that's cool. That's good to know.
During the story, you will gradually be introduced to the various shops and their activities in the 6th Street, which is basically a little hub where you live.
Cool.
You are the owner of a videotape shop, but more on that a bit later. This dog here lets you read newspapers and gives you a daily rub lottery ticket to earn a few dennies or even film every day.
A scratch off?
This guy cooks you noodles, which is basically just buff food, but compared to other Hoyo games, you might actually want to use these later on into the game. Again, it does get quite hard.
So you could actually... It's probably useful. It sounds like it might be more useful.
Coffee, and the first coffee you are being introduced to is this one. It will cost you 1,500 dennies and restores 60 stamina, which I initially thought would never make it into the final game, given how you can spend film, which is the premium currency, to replenish it, but then I noticed that I can only drink one a day because drinking more than one coffee a day is seemingly bad for me. The arcade shop lets you play games such as Snake.
Yeah, this is so cool. I've been seeing everybody play this.
So
this looks like so much fun.
Losing our friends in a match of Snake. There also is an event tab, but it doesn't seem to be
honestly
open
like
yet.
This can help with like this type of like mechanic in the game itself is so smart. Like it's cool to it's cool that this is not like an event type of thing. It's a permanent like thing, so they could add new games, like little mini games, just in case, like let's say you want to keep playing Zenless Zone Zero when you run out of resin or whatever the worst case is, right? And you're just like, oh, let me just do some arcade stuff with like the community, try to compete, try to get the highest score, you know? So it's kind of cool that they at least add this. This is technically kind of, I would say it's like an end game. So like, until you get the higher score and then someone beats you, you know, I guess it is kind of like a small mini type of end game, I would say, you know.
Maybe we will get some classic arcade
but it is very, very
play,
cool though. I like the idea and the concept of it.
Dragon's Lair, Dwellin, Pac-Man Paimon, or Smash TV Chi-Chi Pool Simulator.
Okay.
After 7-Eleven went bankrupt, the 1-for-1 store opened and offers you daily upgrade materials to buy with your dennies.
Okay.
Reaching Internet level 15, which is the equivalent to the Trailblazer or Adventure Rank level, you unlock daily commissions, and this is where I would like to stop for a moment and pray that these numbers are not better only.
Original
the
ones, just like every Hoyo game.
40 film each, which accumulate to one entire pull per day, whereas the weeklies give you a 10 pull and the monthlies an entire 20 pulls. I really hope they don't change this. This would be really awesome.
Yeah, that sounds actually pretty good. Holy shit.
Anyway, heading back into
getting a lot of pulls for all that. That's pretty good.
Also a videotape store. We can now go and play some VR.
Oh, they kind of look like
VR
skateboards.
In this game is basically a really well-designed farming stage. You design your own setup, choose the enemies you want to face and also how many of them, and you will gain rewards based on that. So you can target for whatever you are in need of against enemies you have built units for. That is a hell of a design choice, and I love it. Let me know in the comments what you think of the system.
So so you could literally click what enemy types you want to do and what waves I guess you would do it in. That's actually kind of cool. I like that mechanic a lot.
Let me know in the comments what you think of the system.
I like that a lot. Yeah, that's really cool.
Has this feature, which I honestly still don't really understand, but it does give me dennies every day over time, so it's fine. This PC is the main part of gameplay in ZZZ, and I will get back to it soon. First we head outside again to the remodeling shop. Here you can improve and level up your Bangbus, which
so this is interesting too.
They are basically a fourth, non-controllable character
you
can bring
they're like
with
a little
you when
buff on the
selecting your
party.
team, and they will deal some minor damage to enemies every so often and give your entire team stat
and they all have
boosts
such
or
cute
buffs,
little
either
outfits too.
permanently
That's awesome.
or periodically.
I really hope for this specifically. I think it would be really cool if they do special ones for certain events that don't come back. They've done that with like Festering Desire. If you're a Genshin player, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've been playing for a long time, hopefully they don't do exactly that where like players miss out on that. But it would be cool to see like skins for these little cute little plushy like things that like help you out and stuff. It would cool to see some new skins, some new abilities. Something cool like that will be really nice to add to the game, I think.
Also really cute, to be honest. I mean, look at this.
It is really cute, yeah. That's so funny. They all have a different animation? Oh, that's cool.
On the other side of the 6th Street, you will find the W Engine store, where you can craft, well, W Engines. They are the weapon equivalent of this game. Dismantling W Engines gives you currency, which you then can use to craft the W Engine you want. On our way back to the video store, we encounter the music store. Basically, you spend this currency here
this looks
to
like
pull
artifact
for discs,
system,
which are the relics or artifacts of the game.
Yeah, that does look
So
like it.
let's go back to our PC and we can finally play the game. On this screen, you can select between the story, side missions, rally, and Hollow Zero, which is basically the end game, at least to my knowledge. The rally is basically just combat without any of the roguelike stuff, which is nice. However, be it the main story, side story, or Hollow Zero, the roguelike experience you will experience, I guess, is jumping from TV to TV, solving various puzzles, collecting rewards, and fighting some enemies, all while avoiding gaining too much pressure. These boards are honestly quite boring during the initial main story and side stories as well, but more on that later.
Oh, it's like a map.
If you go into Hollow Zero, which is somewhat of an equivalent to MOC or the Abyss, pressure comes into play. Moving around on the TV board increases your pressure, and if it reaches 100, you gain a debuff, which usually is a trade-off effect. For example, enemies take 50% less damage while dazed, but your perfect SS damage is increased by 10%. These effects last the entire run and are cleared when you leave. Then you have various rounds of combat, puzzles, special reward stages.
So as you're going through this like kind of abyss, like a swarm kind of vibe, you can get buffs or you could get debuffs. So you'll have a disadvantage, and it'll make the combat, I guess, or the gameplay a little bit harder because you're at a disadvantage. So it is pretty interesting to see. Hopefully,
much more. Which
hopefully it gets better over time.
Roguelike TV thing actually quite interesting, at least for me.
It does seem pretty interesting.
It's also a bit different in that you don't get your full team. You start off with only one character and you have to unlock the others to join you. During the Hollow Zero, you will acquire a variety of Resonium, which are basically blessings. Acquiring a few can trigger a fusion, which will merge multiple into one. Before entering a Hollow, you are prompted to set up your team. For the story mode specifically, they provide you with a preset team at the recommended level, which is really nice.
The normal trio here.
I cannot play without Nicomiya, so I have to choose my own team. Now is a good time to have a look at the various equipment. Each character can equip a single W engine. Again, these are basically the weapons and don't really behave differently than in other Hoyo games. With the relics
so it's not that complicated.
Artifacts, which are called discs in this game, you have 6 slots per character. There are 2 and 4.
By the way, this 6 slot kind of thing, it really, like the layout really reminds me of Aether Gazer. If you guys have ever played Aether Gazer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It kind of has like this almost the same layout. Like it's crazy. It just reminded me of that. Let me know in the comments below if any of you guys have played Aether Gazer and if it reminds me of that, because it reminded me of that. Definitely.
You have a bit more freedom in ZZZ than in HSR or Genshin. As always, the stats are random, but they actually have a secondary main stat slot, so I'm not too sure yet how to acquire these.
That's cool. So there's a secondary main stat slot, so you could have like crit damage and crit rate in the same base. That would be interesting to see.
Makes the grind even more awful.
Yeah, it sounds bad.
Let's have a look.
It does. Oh shit. So like, you can have a crit damage one with crit rate on it, and then have random stats on it. That might be like the rarest one, or maybe energy. That's pretty interesting. That is pretty cool.
Each character
grinding that's probably gonna suck ass,
fire,
but whatever.
Ice, electric, physical,
it is what it is.
Ether, and one of these 3 fighting styles: slash, strike, or pierce. Certain enemy types are weak to specific attributes. Every character has 5 inputs: basic attack, special attack, ultimate, dodge, and switch. Most characters also have some kind of special mechanics called a sub-attack, which changes your basic attack pattern when pressing certain buttons at specific times. Basic attacking
it's like a QTEs, I guess you could say.
You can use this energy to enhance your special attack into an AX special attack, which will deal a significant amount of increased damage. Looking at Soldier 11, her scaling goes from 54%
she's such a cool character.
776% when enhanced. Which also makes using
I'm definitely going to be using her 100%.
Really bad. Enemies
oh my god, 700%.
Indicate that by having a golden or red flash. In either case, that is the time for
God,
you
she's
to dodge
broken.
to gain a perfect counter
Oh,
attack.
she's so
If
sick.
the flash is golden, switching into another character triggers perfect assist, which will deal some significant damage while still avoiding the attack. You can trigger it a maximum of 3 times until you have to recharge points.
Holy cow, this
Attacking
boss
will
is
also
insane.
apply daze onto enemies, and when the bar is full, enemies get stunned and will take increased damage. Hitting enemies with heavy attacks while dazed will often trigger a chain attack, which is a QTE. They are very strong and, in my opinion, the main part of this game. Doing basically anything attack related will generate decibel, and reaching a score of 3000 will let you use an ultimate. However, the decibel rating is a shared resource, so choose the character you want to use the ultimate from wisely. Having that said, there's more to the combat, such as assist attacks, which are basically a small QTE which triggers when you are hit, and attribute anomalies, which are basically status effects. Hitting enemies enough times with the same attribute damage will apply such an anomaly, for example burn for fire, freeze for ice, or assault and armor break for physical. So, having probably covered most of the game, let's get to the good and the bad.
Yes, please.
I tried to keep the previews as neutral as possible, but from here on this is all my personal opinion. Yours may be different, and that is okay. Let's get it clear. Zenless Zone Zero is a good game, but as of now, it has its flaws. The beginning is very slow, and it will take you a few hours to unlock the meaningful parts, which, especially in relation to this TV jump thingy, is a problem. It sets a wrong expectation of what the Hollows can offer later into the game, and this expectation is flat out boring.
Ooh,
I fear people will...
He just said it was boring. No, that's not good, bro. Oh, man. I am worried about this, man. Maybe the game, honestly, like I've heard MTash talk about this too, man. MTash said it just looks very flashy, and like flashy is cool, but like if it's like too repetitive or boring, then I don't think it has a chance of succeeding, which is crazy. I think this is a really unbiased opinion. So far, let's just finish what he has to say. That's crazy. That's not good.
That would be quite sad. The game has a lot to offer, but the good is obstructed by layers and layers of problems. High stamina costs, which means you have to choose between...
I mean, to be fair, if it is in beta, it's second beta, to be technical, so we can be a bit fair on this. Second beta,
and playing the story.
We gotta be a little nice, but you know,
being more TVs
it's not the final product,
and enemies not really feeling special. Like for me, at least until now, it doesn't matter if I face a boss or a normal enemy, I just press switch or dodge whenever a golden or red flash lights up respectively.
It's too easy.
Mostly just have more HP and that's it. ZZZ will probably also be more time consuming to play, at least as far as I have seen it.
Damn, bro.
Genshin takes just a few minutes a day and HSR even less, but ZZZ might actually take 15 to 30 minutes every day, which could be a turn-off for the more casual players.
I'm not trying to play 15 to 30 minutes, man.
Based on the reactive inputs. While I personally really enjoy it, it is less chill than the other games, while also being significantly harder.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
I hope Hoyo finds a solution to the TV problem, because it is frankly just not engaging early on.
Wow,
other than that,
that's
the
insane.
game has a lot to offer, and I'm looking forward to its full release.
So far, what do you guys think about Zenless Zone Zero so far? I feel like a lot of the critiques that are going to come out very soon, I think they're going to be actually more negative than positive. For the actual content creators that make content on Hoyoverse games, I really hope that they make real, authentic, unbiased reviews on this game specifically. Really hope that they don't try to just say that it's good just because it's a Hoyo game and they're a Hoyoverse creator. I would rather have very honest, very criticized feedback so the game could be even better. There's a lot of the times I feel like people are just not really being honest because like it's like their favorite company and they're gonna suck up to them no matter what. So this review was really awesome. I really like, it was great. It was really fair, I think. Big shout out to I Am Ravenous. Definitely subscribe to his channel. And yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this whole review. I think it was great. There's a lot of pros and cons, obviously. What do you guys want to see improved on the game? What do you not like about the game so far? Let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.